Aloha, this is Pastor Derald Skinner of Calvary Chapel, Pearl Harbor, and welcome to Go4God Devotionals. Today we'd like to talk about Mark chapter 10 and what Jesus, when he makes a statement about marriage, and really not only marriage but also creation, we discover there's a particular law that's found within the scriptures or within the students of the Bible. It's called the law of first mention. And so Jesus is confronted about marriage by the religious leaders of his day. They were testing him. They're trying to catch him in some form or fashion, whereas to accuse him of wrong teachings and so forth, or get the populace against him and so on. And so it says the following right here. It says, the Pharisees came and asked Jesus, is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife? Testing him. And he answered and said to them, what did Moses command you? They said, Moses permitted a man to write a certificate of divorce and to dismiss her. And Jesus answered and said to them, because of the hardness of your heart, he wrote you this precept. But from the beginning of the creation, God made them male and female. And for this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So then they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no man separate. Now, Jesus brings us back to Genesis in regards to this, talking about when God made his creation. It was a 6-day creation. On the 6th day, he makes Adam and Eve. Adam was made from the dust of the earth, and God brought all the animals before Adam, see that they come by 2 by 2, male and female, able to procreate, and reproduce after one another. And then, of course, he makes Eve from the rib side of Adam. And that rib side, of course, is the closest thing to man's heart. Not from the head, where she'd be above him, not from his feet, they do walk all over her, but that she'd be the closest one to his heart, that he'd nurture her, that he'd protect her, that he'd love her, that he'd provide for her. So Jesus gives us, going back to Genesis, this law of first mention. He also says this is the beginning of creation. He says from creation it was so, when God made male and female. And so we can say, okay, when did creation start? Was it millions upon billions of years ago? Or was it when God made male and female? Well, we discovered, Jesus affirmed, it's when he made male and female. That is the beginning of creation. And God, in his wisdom and his knowledge and his details, he reveals to us in the scriptures through Genesis how long everybody lived and who their children were. And thus he tells us how old this earth really is, which is about 6,000 years. So it's important for us to realize there's a couple of things that we see in this. Number one is that the earth is not as old as they would tell us, like through evolution and Big Bang. Secondly, we discover that God made them male and female. When you're born a male, you are to remain a male. There's no transitioning into another gender. When you're born a woman, a girl, you're to remain a young lady and a woman. And a man is not to marry a man is to marry a woman. And a woman is not to marry a woman, but a woman is to marry a man. All these things are found in the law of first mention as we look to the scriptures back in Genesis, and these are affirmed by the Son of God, God incarnate, the Lord Jesus Christ. Hope you enjoyed our devotional today. Have a great day.